I didn't grow up around engines. In fact, in my hometown, very few people even owned bicycles, but I had a mind that moved faster than roads could keep up with. I wasn't told I could build something great. I simply decided to try. And today, for the first time, I am telling you my story, not to celebrate success, but to prove no dream is too big if you're willing to build from the bottom of the scrapyard. I was born in 1963 in Taizhou, Zhejiang Province, a fishing town, poor, hardworking, full of grit. My father was a farmer, my mother a homemaker. We didn't talk about companies. We talked about harvests, rain, and rice. But I was always drawn to machines, not for their noise, but for their logic. When I was a teenager, I found an old broken camera. I took it apart just to see how it worked. It never worked again, but something inside me clicked. From that day, I wasn't afraid of breaking things, because I knew rebuilding is the beginning of creation. I didn't attend an elite school. I studied at a local vocational institute. While others learned theory, I learned hands-on repairs. In the early 1980s, China was just opening up. No one thought private companies could thrive, but I couldn't wait for permission. So with a loan from my father, I started my first business, making refrigerator parts. That's right, Geely. Didn't start in cars. It started in scrap metal and cooling coils. We grew, and in the 1990s, I asked myself, what comes next? The answer seemed insane. Cars. At the time, China had strict policies. Private companies weren't allowed to make automobiles. Only state-owned giants could do that. But I believed something deeper than regulation. Every Chinese family would one day own a car, and those cars shouldn't just be imported, they should be built by us. We started building motorcycles. Then we assembled cars without official licenses just to learn. People laughed. Government officials warned us. But behind closed doors, we were designing, testing, failing, learning. In 1997, after years of persistence, Geely became the first private company in China to get a license to manufacture cars. Our first models were simple, clunky, loud, criticized, but we didn't aim for perfection. We aimed for progress. We focused on low-income buyers, on towns no one else served, on building for the forgotten millions. And step by step, we began to rise. By 2005, Geely was listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. But I was thinking far beyond stock prices. I had a dream, one I told no one, not even my closest advisors. One day I will buy a Western car brand, and will make it thrive under Chinese leadership. They would have laughed, because at the time Geely wasn't taken seriously. That was luxury, heritage, European pride. But I didn't laugh. I planned. In 2010, that impossible dream came true. We acquired Volvo cars from Ford. The world was stunned. How can a Chinese company manage a Swedish brand? How can they protect quality, heritage, safety? But I knew the truth. Respect is the foundation of leadership. We didn't change Volvo's DNA. We strengthened it. We gave them freedom. We brought in capital, scale, and vision. Volvo rose. Their safety tech expanded. Their electric vision sharpened. And the world realized we didn't buy Volvo to absorb it. We bought it to amplify it. Since then, we've acquired Lotus London Electric Vehicle Company, a stake in Daimler, Polestar, a futuristic EV brand, and built Zeekr, our own premium EV platform. But none of this was rushed. Every decision came from years of listening, learning, and long drives down. I still don't speak much in public. I don't do press tours or fame build because I believe you don't need to shout to change an industry. You just need to drive forward. I often visit our factories. I walk silently among engineers. I ask about software and torque and chassis integration, because the dream isn't over, it's just begun. Today, Geely is one of China's largest private automakers, and one of the world's most quietly powerful car companies. But I don't celebrate that. I celebrate this, that a boy from a fishing village who couldn't afford a car built a company that now drives the world. So, who am I? I am Li Shufu, founder and chairman of Geely Holding Group, a man who started in a refrigerator parts workshop and ended up shaping the future of global mobility. I didn't start with capital. I started with curiosity, and I proved, even if you start in the dust, if you keep building, you just might design the road everyone else ends up driving on.